Green Bay Packers versus New Orleans Saints. Instant reaction to Sunday Night Football. I thought it was a fantastic game, fun game to watch. Again, just to remind everybody, I'm not a fan of either team. I'm a fan of the NFL, so I have no bias in this game analysis. But running through, I have to say, before the season, I was irked that the Green Bay Packers didn't make a bigger splash for a receiver, whether a tight end or whether one of these stretch wide receivers that are so important to basically lengthen the field, so that it takes some of the heat off of Aaron Jones in the box. It takes some of the heat off of Aaron Rodgers to only have to throw to Davante Adams. Well, no Davante Adams against New Orleans. This was the big question. Who was going to step up? Alvin Lazard stepped up. Now, he is somebody that, dating even back to last season, Packers fans know, but he was a practice squad guy that Aaron Rodgers developed a nice chemistry with. He said, hey, let's give this guy a shot. He flashed a little bit last season. He took advantage of some opportunities. Today, he played fantastically. I got to say, this season, by the way, I think he did really well in the offseason. This season, he looks better. He looks more physically imposing. And today, he went for 6 catches on 8 targets, 146 yards, and a touchdown. That is a big deal. And Rodgers did a great job of spreading this ball out. You see Robert Tonyan at tight end, 5 targets, 5 catches, 50 yards, and a touchdown. You got Sternberger getting in on the action, 3 catches on 3 targets. Mercedes Lewis got that touchdown. By the way, Saints fans, I know that you wanted the offensive pass interference, and I wouldn't argue against it. For me, there was a lot of hand fighting. I probably, if I was an official there, being, the armchair quarterback, or I guess the armchair official, I would have thrown a flag and just called pass interference, offsetting penalty on both of them. There was a little bit of hand fighting. By the time it got to the point where Mercedes Lewis, extended his arm and got the touchdown grab, there had already been a little bit of kind of back and forth there between that defensive back and Mercedes Lewis. It's a tough draw. New Orleans always seems to be on the bad side of that draw. I don't know what is going on there, but whenever there's a pass interference, a questionable one, New Orleans always gets jobs. So that really sucks, Saints fans. What can you say about that? Aaron Jones today, you figured he was going to have a tough game, but I didn't know how tough it was going to be. He got in the end zone, so that's not bad. 16 carries, 69 yards, 4.3 yards per carry, which against New Orleans, that's pretty darn good. But he didn't really get involved in the passing game. 4 targets, 2 catches for, 17 yards? He wasn't a really factor there. But, having him in that 4th and goal, getting that touchdown, that was huge. If I were LaFleur there, I probably would have kicked the field goal. But, as it turns out, LaFleur is a little bit smarter than I am, and I think he proved it because they needed the points. And by the way, a little compliment to LaFleur. He's the first coach in years of this challenge. He's the first coach that I finally saw use the challenge correctly. The clock was running down. Aaron Jones really came very close to breaking the goal line the second time, right before the 2-minute warning. The Packers are running down that play clock, and it was going to be about 2 minutes and 4 seconds, if memory serves, before then. So the Packers would have had to take a timeout or run a play or something. He wanted to challenge the call. He made the Packers run it all the way down to his second before he threw the flag on the field. He's the first one to do it correctly. I've seen coaches time and time again either, 1, throw the flag with like 20 seconds left on the play clock, stupid, or 2, they would take a timeout, then think about whether or not they want to challenge the play, but not actually do it. He was the first one to do it correctly. Thank you, Matt LaFleur. Finally, maybe I won't have to watch and pull my hair out every time. There's a reason I'm wearing a hat. I'm bald under here. Now, the Saints, Drew Brees, I think without Michael Thomas, dating back to last week on Monday Night Football, the Raiders frustrated Drew Brees, but it just didn't seem like he was comfortable. I would say the same was true today. Look, he's never going to be bad. He's a Hall of Fame quarterback. He's good, but he's just not the Drew Brees that I'm used to seeing. And I think Saints fans would probably say the same thing. I think they would agree with me. And please comment below. Let me know what you think. But, I thought basically in the second half, maybe the end of the second quarter even, he started settling in. Obviously, Kamara is fantastic. Only 6 carries today for 58 yards for Alvin Kamara. But you look at his receiving numbers, 14 targets, 13 receptions, 139 yards, 2 touchdowns. And, Drew Brees, once he got, and I think it was even before Kamara got that, what looked like a Tecmo Super Bowl touchdown run. Everybody was just flying. And when I'm talking about everybody, I'm talking about Packers flailing, trying to tackle him. It was ridiculous. Credit Kamara, but come on, guys. Come on, Packers. You got to tackle. But, I think it was a little bit before then even. Maybe it was the first touchdown grab he had. But Drew Brees kind of, I don't want to say settled in again, because I'm really splitting hairs here, and I'm really being overly critical of Brees. But it seemed like he's finally like comfortable. And around that time, Emmanuel Sanders, by the way, finally appeared. Emmanuel Sanders, 5 targets, 4 catches, 56 yards, and a touchdown, finally looked good. And this is what Saints fans wanted to see. So although they're 1-2 now, although they took the loss, I think there's a lot to be happy about because Brees is settled in. At some point they're going to get Michael Thomas back and they're going to be even better. Kamara is every bit as good as he was, a couple years ago. I know some people were down on him. I wasn't, but some people were. He looks great. I'd like to see him a little bit more involved in the running game, but I do like that the Saints also bring in Latavius Murray, who I think career-wise has always been a little underrated as a running back as well. When Michael Thomas comes back and adds his basically just the imposition of his will on opposing defenses, this whole Saints team is going to fall into place. 1-2, I do not care. They're still going to be a winning team. They're still going to be a playoff team. Yes, the Saints fans probably shouldn't have lost that game on Monday night. You came out to a really juiced and underrated Las Vegas Raiders team. Then you have to follow up with a Green Bay Packers team that's just solid everywhere, defensively and offensively. Go down 1-2, not a big deal. At least you got the in-division win against Tampa Bay, and that one's going to loom large. If they can sweep Tampa Bay, I think the division is theirs, but we'll see what happens later in the season. Very good game. And so I think both teams are on their way up. Green Bay Packers, you have to take your hat off to them. Their offense is putting up some huge numbers, and LaFleur calls a very, very nice game. I was a little hot and cold on some of his play calling last year, but this year he is dialed in. So, nothing but compliments all around. And the Saints are fantastically coached as well. I mean, they put up 30 points on a pretty good defense without Michael Thomas. It's just two very good teams playing. I would have liked to have seen these two teams with Davante Adams and with Michael Thomas, but I got to say, the other side of this is Rodgers knows now that he can trust Allen Lazard. Drew Brees knows now that he can trust, first of all, Alvin Kamara, which we already knew, but he can trust a TreQuan Smith, who I think is actually flashing a little bit better than Emmanuel Sanders is. 6 targets, 4 catches, 42 yards. Emmanuel Sanders getting into the end zone this week. That's huge for them. The trust with the other receivers for these quarterbacks, it's only going to make the team better when their primary receivers come back. So very cool. This is a potential playoff matchup. We could see this matchup again, and I'd be very happy as a football fan to see it. Packers fans, Saints fans, please comment below. Let me know what you saw, what jumped out at you this game. Please like, subscribe, and we'll catch you on some more instant reactions. And we have a lot coming out with fantasy football and picks, NFL picks, and all that stuff. This is one that I got correct. I took Green Bay and the points in this game, so happened to get this one correct. It was a decent week for me in that regard, but this game really could have gone either way. So very cool. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you again soon.